All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, I'm recording this and putting it out on December 31st, 2024. This is the last day of the year, guys. How crazy. Tomorrow will be January 1st, 2025. So please be careful out there, guys. Happy New Year's, of course. But you know, people like to get a little bit crazy around this time of the year. So please be careful out there, guys. Please be careful. But yeah, in today's video, we are going to be talking about, we're going to do a review of 2024, mainly on the channel, but I'm sure some stuff will tie over to the community as a whole. So we're going to be doing that. Someone asked me to do that. I'm not very good at doing that kind of stuff, but hey, we'll do it anyway. We'll have a little bit of fun with it. So bear with me in that portion. But after that, so that's the first thing we'll do is we'll do a topic of the day, talking about 2024 recap and looking forward to 2025. After that, we're going to be going over to the sim. We got 3 games on the sim of Red, Black, Sabo. That's right, not Red, Yellow Sabo, but Red, Black Sabo. Okay, so that should be a lot of fun. There's some potential there, guys. There is some potential. I think we need more Black Revo support, but we'll talk more about that as we get into it. Then after that, we'll head over to the deck list. We'll check it out. We'll brainstorm. We'll talk about it and all that good stuff, and then we'll wrap it up in that way. Okay. All right, guys, you know what you're getting into. Let's go ahead and dive straight into this. I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links in the comment section below. And yeah, guys, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to post those down in the comment section below. Okay, guys? Also, if what I almost forgot, if you want to hang out with us on the Discord, we have the VV Theory Discord. The link is in the channel description. We're talking about One Piece and deck building and stuff like that all the time on there. And if you're a red yellow Sabo guy, you got to hang out in there and see what we're always trying to cook up and do, and you know, staying updated with the stats and all that good stuff. Okay, now let's get into this, guys. Let me get this leader screen out of the way. Let me put up the topic of the day thing. We're gonna leave it like this. I kind of arranged everything. It's kind of, this is the hard part. Hang on, guys. I'll just go like this, I guess. Okay, I don't want to mess with this camera for too long today. I know I can get carried away with it. So there we go. Now let's go ahead and talk about the topic of the day. We're gonna be going over 2024. We're gonna be talking about it like in conclusion, in review. We're going to recap the year, and then we'll talk about some expectations for 2025. Now, I did make a script for this, guys. So number one, so there's something to have on the screen. I don't really have anything to put on the screen otherwise, but that we'll go through it like line by line. So 2024 in conclusion, that's the first thing. I wouldn't worry about the part above this. This is just my, you know, my little setup on how I do my videos. This is like a little script, pretty much, like I said. Or I think I mentioned that. So here we go. The first thing I want to talk about is we did witness Blue Black Sakazuki and Red Purple Law get banned in 2024. Some things probably needed to be done. I hope one day they can make the, how do I say this? I have to say this so carefully. So I have to really guard what I say here. I want to see Blue Black Sakazuki re-enter into the meta. And I think that was a really cool leader. That's just me. This is just my own personal opinion. I thought Blue Black, did I say Red Black? I might have said Red Black. I meant Blue Black, guys. Blue Black Sakazuki was just, I loved running Navy. It's what got me into the game. And I'll never get over how they should have had that be Kuzan. I feel like that should have been Blue Black Kuzan. Anyway, I don't know. I guess it's just a color theme for me with the blue and everything, with him being ice. But hey, Blue Black Sakazuki was an absolute blast for me to play, guys. I really enjoyed playing it, and I thought it was a cool deck. It was pretty strong. Let me say this, guys. If like the strongest decks we've seen in the game so far are at like a 10, like the strongest decks we've ever seen, I do think that Blue Black Sakazuki was probably a 10.5. Like, it was just a little bit marginally better than any deck under it. It was just kind of just more consistent. It could do so many things. But then on top of that, Red Purple Law, though, I think instead of being at a 10.5, I think that one was at an 11. That's just my thoughts. Who knows? You know, you guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Is there any chance, I didn't put this down in 2025 expectations, but is there any chance we see Blue Black Sakazuki or Red Purple Law get unbanned in the future? Who knows? I do think it's more likely Blue Black Sakazuki would, if any of them were to get unbanned, which we have no idea if they will or not. This is just pure conjecture, pure, you know, theory crafting and brainstorming. I do think there would be a bigger chance for Sakazuki to get unbanned versus Red Purple Law. I think Red Purple Law was just too dominant for what it was doing. I wish they would just reprint that leader and make it slightly more fair, or do the same thing with Blue Black Sakazuki. Like, those promos were The promos they released, I was not a huge fan of, but hey, we got to see those in 2024 as well. But we got to see Blue Black Sakazuki and Red Purple Law get banned in 2024, and that had a massive effect on the meta, right? Especially in the West, guys, because we didn't even get Blue Black Sakazuki and whatever the set was that, before it got banned, but it was in the East. The same thing with Red Purple Law, where it's like, in the East, they got to play with these decks a little bit longer than we did. So because of that, in the West, in response to Blue Black, I think it was in response to Red Purple Law getting banned, ST14 Luffy was actually kind of decent because it was decent into Lucci. A lot of crazy stuff going on there, but anyway, you guys get the point. So that happened. Let's keep going. I'll try not to spend too much time on all this, but I'll try to at least really cover each point one by one. Okay, so this is like a double point here. So on the channel, we finally retired Black Yellow Lin Lin as our main deck. Oh man, how sad. Those were sad times. I'm always hoping that they give that leader more support. But when you close one chapter, you get to open up another one, right? So at least that's what's in my mind here for this journey. And it's like, okay, so we ended one part. It's almost like we ended one quest and now we're starting up another one. We ended one journey, we're starting a new one. And Black Yellow Lin Lin, like it will always have a special place in my heart. I really enjoyed that deck, and I don't even think it's that bad. It's just it doesn't have enough support, I think, to compete in the current state of things. But we'll have to see. With new cards coming out, you never know what card might be able to just break the deck or put it on par with others. Or, maybe there's a version of the deck we don't know about yet. So I haven't given up on the leader. However, now we are officially, in 2024, we officially started our Red Yellow Sabo journey, right? And that has been such a rewarding process, guys, because I really try to include the community as much as I could in this endeavor here, and it has really been paying off. Just seeing the participation, and again, if you want to see the participation from people, hop on the Discord. That's where a lot of it comes in. The comment section helps on YouTube as well, of course. People do help on there and give ideas and stuff. But guys, on the Discord, we can actually talk back and forth in there, bounce ideas off each other, try to brainstorm and things like that. So it has just been so incredible. It's been so rewarding for me as a content creator to be able to include the community in these projects and to talk about stuff, and to go over them and get ideas and find out new ways to try different things, like all these different styles of the deck. Because like right now, just to give a quick example, right now we're doing a experiment. It's like a community project experiment to see which is the best Red Yellow Sabo list. And guys, one of the decks on there was not even a deck that I made. It was a deck that someone in the channel had made. And so it's just one of those things it's been so nice. So really good stuff there. So yeah, we're done with Black Yellow Lin Lin for now, but who knows in the future, there might be a part 2, you never know. But for the foreseeable future, we are locked in on Red Yellow Sabo. Very happy with where we are now and very happy on which direction the deck is going. Okay, all right, so a little bit of channel statistics here. This might be boring stuff for some people, but this meant a lot to me as a content creator. Breaking into the 10,000 sub range, that was a big deal for me. There were 3 major goals that I had when I first started out as a content creator. And I didn't know how fast it was going to happen or how slow it was going to happen or anything. I didn't have any idea. But when I started my YouTube, the first thing that I wanted to do was to get to 100 subs. Like that was like, okay, I really hope I can get to 100 subs. That'd be really cool, and then eventually get to 1,000. Like that was my foreseeable future. Like, okay, we'll get this maybe in like two or 3 years or something. But instead, guys, with the way that the community is growing and One Piece, the game's growing, it's just been incredible, guys. And 10,000 for me was like, yeah, maybe one day, like maybe in like 5 or 6 years, and just seeing it get to this point so quickly, I have to thank you guys so much for that, because obviously I can't do this without you. I can't make, I'm not going to make 10,000 alt sub accounts or something to sub to me. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. So it's like, okay, I couldn't have done that without you guys. And with, and then we did break the 1 million view, kind of towards the beginning of 2024, I believe. And now I think we're in like 2.2 million or something views on the channel. It's just been so surreal, guys. And I don't say any of this stuff to brag. This is more or less to give give you guys your due. Thank you so much for watching my videos, all of them. And hey, that goes into the next one, right? We put out a video all 366 days of this year. There were not 365. 2024 was a leap year. So we put out a video every single day on the channel, guys. We were able to do it. We didn't miss a single day of 2024. And, you know, without you guys watching all my videos, I wouldn't have these views. Without you guys subbing to the channel, I wouldn't have these subs. So just thank you guys so much. I really, really appreciate you guys and all you know, all you do for the channel. Okay, now moving on from there. 366 days straight, or for the whole year. That's crazy. Now, for the channel, let me say this, guys, for anyone who might be newer, who's not aware, you know, I put out a video every single day on the channel. I think this will be video 584 or 585 of days we've done completely straight. We don't miss one day. Okay, guys, I want to be consistent. I want you guys to have your One Piece content every day, and I'm going to try and keep that going into 2025, of course. Now, speaking of that, going into this next part, we're going to be talking about stuff we introduced to the game, to the community, in mainly on this channel in 2024. And in this section right here on the stuff we introduced, we're going to be talking about like what's going to stay and what's going to go. So who knows? Some people might like this, some people might not. But first of all, we introduced a set market watch date, like the 1st and the 15th of every month, right? At first it was just once a month, but now it's on the 1st and the 15th of every month. We have a market watch. That is going to stay. Okay, that has been very successful. We introduced the VV Lab segment to the videos, and those were a really big hit at first, but we might take a small break on the VV Lab because I haven't been getting as many submissions of those recently, so we'll probably take a small break on the VV Lab and kind of feature those maybe once every week or once every 2 weeks or something like that. Okay, but those were very good. Those were like a free coaching type of session every single video. That was really good for a amount of time, but it looks like it's starting to kind of wane a little bit, where it's like not as many people want to you know, see that as much anymore. Then we're gonna then we have topic of the day segment. That's gonna stay for sure. A lot of people really like that. I don't know if we'll feature it every single day. I'll need more people to give me ideas on what to talk about every day for specific topics, because I can talk about anything, but that doesn't mean I'll just have the thought in my head like, oh, here's what we'll talk about today. So I'll try to find a way for people to submit topics of the day, probably on the Discord, like, hey, here's a topic of the day, here's a topic of the day, stuff like that. I still have quite a bit left of those topic of the days, but it'd be nice to get some other people to help out with that, because I think a lot of people have been enjoying the topic of the day. But again, there's only so much to talk about. So if people can help me out in that category, that's definitely going to stay, because that's been a lot of fun. Now the art critique. Has been, that was kind of just a niche area because my background is art, so I wanted to show that, or I wanted to, you know, how do I say this? How do I say it? I wanted to implement that in some way to my videos. But that one kind of fell out of favor with me as well. We're probably not going to continue that very often, maybe once or twice a month, if that. The art critiques have kind of fallen off a little bit, but not a bad thing. And then last but not least, we introduced a new game mode with 3C2L. I definitely want to start showing that off every now and then. People have been recording games. It's been so much fun, guys. If you have not tried out that new game mode, it is an absolute blast if you're trying to just have fun with friends. Like nothing competitive, just totally casual. It's very Commander-esque. We have the rules catered to 3 and 4 player free-for-alls. It's a lot of fun. It's also good for 1v1 as well. Okay, and then last but not least on this part, guys, before we go into 2025, I did want to mention that on a Discord, I'll bring that up now, I was able to get voted as the One Piece TCG Content Creator of the Year for 2024. That was a big deal for me, guys. A lot of people, here it is on this channel here. This channel, they have something like almost 75,000 you know, members on this channel or users on the channel, but only about, I think only like 300 people voted or something like that. It was something very small in numbers. Like I think I was at 167 votes at the end, and the person right under me was at like 130 or something like that. It was something very close to that. But whatever the case was, we got on this channel here, we got Content Creator of the Year. This is the channel where I get all of my card reveals from, guys. So quick spoiler warning. Let me do card reveals. This is where they show off all of the new spoiled cards and you know, the effects on them. They translate them and all that good stuff. So it's on this server. It meant a lot to me. I'm going to be honest, guys. It was like the perfect way to cap off my year, because I went really hard this year in the community here with the channel, with One Piece, and to see people who appreciated me, you know, in that way, and to vote for me and stuff like that. It just, like I said, guys, I can't really say it enough. It really meant a lot to me. So thank you to everybody who voted. If you're probably wondering like, hey, I wish I would have known, I would have voted for you. You know, I didn't really make it into a big announcement because I just kind of wanted to keep it the way it was. It was kind of more of a, if you were on the Discord, you would know right away, right? But a lot of people didn't want to join the server or something like that, or do this, that, the other. I don't know. It just didn't receive as many votes as you'd think for like a 75,000 person server. But that's kind of how Discord can be. It's almost like a forum where you have thousands of people who view it, but not many people actually comment, or not many people actually like take polls and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much again to whoever voted for me for this. This meant a lot to me again, guys. Like, I really can't stress it enough. It meant a whole lot to me. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go back to this and this. Oops, should have done it the other way around. There we go. 2025 goals. So that's where we're at now, guys, is the goals I have for the channel right here are my 2025 goals. I think what we're going to do going forward is introduce this idea of Meta Mondays, where I show off a meta list. And it'll be a little bit repetitive because typically speaking, there's really only like 4 or 5 major competitive meta deck lists out per set. And I have to, the thing that hurts the Meta Monday idea is in case the market watch falls on a, you know, if the 1st or the 15th is a Monday. That's the only thing that really hurts that idea. But I think I will be introducing a day of the week where we do have a meta day. So just like we have a red, yellow Sabo day every week on the channel, we're going to have a meta day every week on the channel, if that makes sense. That will probably be introduced for the more competitive players out there. Because, of course, we're always trying to expand the viewer base, guys. We're always trying to, you know, please as many people as possible. And those are good. Those are good videos as well, even for the more casual players, so you know how to play around certain matchups and things like that. So that's 2025 goal. I want to introduce more meta decks to the you know, to the channel, but don't worry, guys. It's still going to be like 90% rogue decks. You guys know that's my thing, guys. I'm a rogue deck builder. It's the passion I have in this game. It's what I enjoy doing. So no worries there. It's still going to be a very casual focused server, but it's at least going to have something for the more competitive players who watch as well. Okay, next up is introduce either some type of new item or new playmat. I'm trying to come up with some ideas here, guys. What would y'all be interested in? Like, this is something where I need y'all's help again, where it's like, the first thought that I had was a hat, because whenever you're playing games, right, whenever you're, especially trading card games, I'm saying, like, whenever you're playing cards, you know, typically you want to have a hat to cover your eyes, right? Because, you know, eyes reveal a lot when you're playing. And when you can cover your eyes, number one, it helps you lock into what is relevant and not see all these things in the surroundings. It helps you lock in. It helps you focus in and tunnel in on the game. So I think a hat is kind of the direction I'm going. But I know people also like hoodies, but then some people, you know, do like play mats. I have another idea for a playmat. I'll show that off eventually, I'm sure, at some point, but I'm not ready yet for that. But I do have another idea for a playmat that I think is going to be really cool. We'll see. But then I also like the idea of a hoodie, right? Having a hoodie, that's a good idea. Same thing with a hat. But if you guys have any other cool ideas for that, by all means, say something. That is a goal, to put out one more item in 2025. So we did the play mats this year, right? The Rayleigh VV Theory play mats. We did that this year. It went really well. It went so much better than I expected it to. I was so stressed out over that at first, but I ended up, you know, getting so much support from the community from that, locally and just, you know, on Discord and through the YouTube and everything. So good stuff there. And then the last two here, they're kind of, man, sure would be nice. I want to start streaming soon. I have some ideas. I'm not sure about that yet. I even mentioned this when I hit 5,000 subs, and I think I mentioned it again when I hit 10,000 subs. I need to just start doing it soon. We'll see what happens. I just don't know what I'd stream. And, you know, when you start, let me say this, guys. Whenever you get into the streamer space, and we're not talking about streaming a tournament where you're like basically a broadcaster, a commentator. When you're actually just chilling out, chatting with people, it becomes very candid, I think is the way to say it. I can't remember exactly, but it becomes very real. And some people, that turns some people away, and it turns some people to the, you know, to that kind of experience. I don't know, because you'll see a side of me you've never seen before, right? When you get to the the live streamer side, I'm very calm, cool, and collected on here. But you can imagine, rage is just happens. Everyone rages from time to time, right? But no, seriously, we'll see what happens with that. I do have some ideas there. I think it could be a lot of fun. So I do want to stream in 2025 more often. Okay. Last but not least, I want to commentate a regional level or higher event like a Treasure Cup, regional, nationals, worlds, you name it. I don't care. I just think that'd be so much fun. Worlds is a little crazy. I don't think I'd want to do that, especially if there's like traveling. I don't want to travel outside of the United States, but anywhere in the United States, I'd love to commentate a large scale tournament. Okay, now that's it for the channel. That's it for the recap and like my goals. So the recap of 2024 and the goals for my channel for 2025. Tell me what you guys think about that in the comment section below. But one more thing I do want to talk about before we move on is these are my hopes and expectations going forward. I have to mention them because I think they're very relevant. It says I expect, but I had it listed that way as like an expectation. It's really I hope Bandai does this, but it's I want Bandai to at least make a mention that they want to catch us up with the East. I've mentioned this and I've mentioned this in many videos now, saying how I think one of the single largest detriments to this game's long-term growth and overall health is keeping us a set behind from the East. I mean, when you're trying to have worlds and then the people from the East have to go back a set to us, well, they get 3 or 4 extra months practicing that set. I'm just not a huge fan of that. I'm not trying to make excuses either. I'm just saying overall, it's just not a good look, and I just feel like there's no way it's good for the game, right? And that's just my personal opinion. So that's what I expect and hope from Bandai. Next is I do expect and hope for an official app/client to be mentioned in some way. And of course, I love the work that Batsu does with the sim. I'll always support that. You know, what he's doing there, that's just been incredible what he did. That whole sim has just been incredible. It's been such a great resource, a great tool for the community. But I want them to have an official app and client, so that way we can have very official online tournaments, right? Where there is no cheating going on. I mean, unless somebody's a computer hacker or something like that. You know, I want there to be like legit tournaments with a built-in ranking system and things like that. And again, even if it's not ready yet, I hope they can at least mention these two things. I want them to at least mention, like, yes, we have plans. It'll give me peace of mind, right? I want to hear that they have plans of, you know, basically catching us up with the West, or with the East, excuse me, catching the West up with the East, and having an official app in the near future. And then last but not least, I expect more reprints to help with market prices. That one's probably the most obvious, right? After we just saw what they did with PRB, I can expect them to do a PRB2 in the future. Okay, that's it, guys. That was the topic of the day. That was a fun one. Please tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. Again, guys, 2024 has been absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for all the support, all the views, all the subs, everybody helping out, all the likes, comments, you name it, guys. It's been surreal. I don't like to overuse that word, but it just doesn't feel real, right? That the channel's gotten to this point. And hey, I hope we keep on growing in 2025 because I don't plan on taking any breaks anytime soon. I'm sure people who follow the channel know that about me by now. There's no such thing as taking a break around here, guys. It doesn't exist. Okay, now let's go ahead and hop into the games on the sim. We've got 3 games of Red, Black, Sabo on the sim. Let me get rid of this. There we go. And let me put my head over here, and we can get into these games. So, real quick before we get started, I have to say, Red, Black, Sabo, I'm just really starting to fall in love with the Reva Army package. Like, it's mainly red. There's some yellow support and very small amounts of black support. But I hope they get more and more all-around support in the future, because this is just a fun deck to play. I don't know how else to say it. It's just very enjoyable for me to play as someone who does enjoy a good mid-range feel. Okay, all right, so first game up here is against Purple Luffy, guys. That's right, Purple Luffy versus Red Black Sabo. Speed is on 2x, the volume is off, and here we go. Okay, I think I do get first this game. I don't have it up where it shows, but yeah, we did get first, which is very... Guys, typically speaking, you want to go first versus Purple Luffy. Attack into him, start getting cards out of hand, start scaring him, making him not want to take his first life or second life. Okay, so we pass the turn back after playing Morley. And remember what my leader effect does, guys. Real quick, for those who are not aware, the leader effect says Dawn ×1. Next time I'm on it, I'll try to pause it so we can just actually read it on the screen. Okay, they play out a Zoro for the turn. Okay, and it's our turn. So here we go. I'm going to play out the Karasu. I'm going to swing for 5. They're going to 5 into 4, by the way. Oh, I just missed it. I just missed it, guys. Hang on. All right, let me go back. We got to slow it down here. Let me hit play, and let me go speed. We'll go back down to 1x just so we can pause it. Well, we almost had it. We almost had it, and there. No, I'm too fast, guys. I'm way too fast. It's crazy. Can we get it right here? There, I had to double click the pause there. So, okay, so it's a Dawn times 1 effect on opponent's turn once per turn. If one of your characters with 5,000 power or more were to be KO'd, you may instead give that character minus 1,000 power for the turn. So KO means in battle or from an effect. Okay, so you can save a 5,000 power or higher character once per turn with this effect. So it is actually extremely relevant, guys. It's a very powerful effect. Okay, speed's back up to 2x, and here we go. So we're going to swing 6. So he swung 5 into 4. He gave me a 2K. We'll swing 6 into 4. He's going to take that because that would have been very hard. That would have been a 2K to 1K to get out of. Okay, so what are we going to do now? This is a tough situation for my opponent to be in. I think they need to go into the board because they're going to have to give me 2 attacks into the board here. Because one I can negate with my leader and the other I can counter out of, potentially. Okay, so we're just waiting for our opponent here. Did I put it back up to 2x speed? All right, they're going to go 9 into 5. We're going to go ahead and 1K counter out of that. Or not 1K, but use leader effect to get out of that. And now he's going to go 10 into 4. Okay, hey, it's gone. You got it, buddy. You got it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to play out the Edward Newgate here. That's right. We got Edward Newgate in this deck. We're going to be able to attach 1 Dawn to our leader and go about things that way. Actually, it looks like we might play out a Lindbergh setting up next turn. Oh man, how boring playing the right way. Because I mean, some people might say that playing out Edward Newgate would have been the right call there and just don't swing a Karasu. But they're approaching their 7-cost turn with like Sanji. But hey, I guess maybe I should have forced him to do that over the 7-cost 8K Luffy Taro. So we'll go 7 into 4. I think he took that one. We're gonna go 6 into 4. Let's see what he does here, guys. These hits are massive. They take 2 to 3 cards out of hand every time. Okay, he has to take that. He's down to 1 life. I'm going to play a Lindbergh. Now I'm going to blast through whatever blocker he puts down. He has to commit. Oh, well, that was a mistake, right? So 1K counter. Now I can just counter out of this one, right? So, okay, I'm going to counter out of that one as well just in case he has that 9-cost, that card right there. He did reveal that, I believe, in a search, by the way. That was not just a lucky guess or pure anticipation. I did see that in the search with the Zooro, I believe. Okay, well now we have other stuff to think about, right? In fact, I've almost passed the point where I don't know if I even need the 7-cost Newgate. That might just be a waste of a turn for me at this point because I can go so aggressively here. It's actually kind of crazy. Okay, we'll go -3 there. We're going to swing in for 7 to pop that. Guys, this takes 2 2K counters to get out of. And I still have an 8K attack coming in as well. So there's a 2K. 2K, 1K. I think he accidentally double-clicked there, messed it up. Oh, well, 8's going through. That was an 8 into 4. That took 3 cards out of hand. And now what? I still have 2 1K counters in hand, which is nothing crazy, but it can definitely help me save my board because, remember, 1 attack I can just get out for free with my leader effect. So he's going to swing 5 into my Karasu here. I'm going to -1, so that way I get the free get out of jail free card. and there we go. So now we finally see a blocker, guys. I do run blockers. I think I run 5 or 6 blockers in the deck. Borsalino is a really strong blocker in this deck. Okay, so here we go. We're going to swing for 7 first to pop that, and then right here, there's definitely some logic here to just like I have 8 Dawn left, right? So I can't really do everything I want to do, like load 2 on Karasu and play out the Newgate where I can just pop the Zoro Juro. So right here, we're just going to go 8 into 4. That's going to cost a Gum Giant. Yeah, I don't think this guy's getting out of this one, guys. Okay, we'll swing in for 4 into 4. That's going to cost 1 card out of hand. And then we're going to go 9 into 4. This would cost a 2K, 2K, 2. It would cost 3 2Ks to get out of that. So good game. That was a lot of fun. Very aggressive. If you can take first away from Purple Luffy as a Revo deck, you actually have quite a good chance. You have a pretty decent chance, guys, to be honest. Okay, so that was against Purple Luffy. Now, this next game was kind of interesting. We got a game here against Green-Purple Doffy. I think Green-Purple Doffy might start seeing quite a bit of play in OP010, or in OP10, rather. Maybe he has to wait for EB02. I'm not sure, but I do think it should start seeing a little bit more play. We'll have to see what happens. They're going to play out a Baby 5. They search up a Sugar. Very annoying. We'll go 5 into 1. Let's see what he chooses to do here. Okay, he lets it go. We're going to play out a Morley, and your turn. Make sure you practice sequencing, guys, against Green-Purple Doffy. Do not play out your characters first, or they're going to rest it. They're going to rest it with things like Punk Gibson or whatever else they might have. Okay, 7 into 5, we'll gladly take that. That's fine. We're not too upset about it. They rest down my character. It doesn't matter. He probably should have swung 7 into my character, to be honest. But, oh well. Oh well. So we're going to swing for 5 here. Let's see what he does. See if I'm trying to get him to use his Dawn now, so that way I can rest the Sugar when I play out my next character and just smash into it and destroy it. Sugar's very annoying. Okay, we play out the Ivankov, and that's going to cheat out a Lindbergh. So now he can tap down any one of my characters he wants to. That was another reason to attack in first with the Morley. We're going to go 5 into 0, and I believe the guy saves the card here, guys. Watch this. He goes Punk Gibson to tap down my Lindbergh, and then 2K counter to get out of that. Okay, if you say so. If you say so, bud. I don't think that was a good play, by the way, guys. I'm not trying to say it was a bad play, but I don't think that was the most optimal play. Let me say that. So here we go. And he doesn't, I thought like, okay, he's going to follow up with Spider Web, right? Okay, now it's going to lock down my entire board. He doesn't even have that. He swings 8 into 5. You can have it. No, I couldn't have gotten out of that. I was going to say I could have gotten out of that, but I couldn't have. I had exactly too little to get out of that. Okay, well, not really a big deal. So we're going to play out the Edward Newgate. Let's see what happens here. He taps down that guy, taps down that guy. It doesn't matter. I'm going 5 into 0, and I'm going 6 into 0. He's not saving these cards. Now, he does mess up. He has a spider web here. Watch this, guys. Or I think that's what it's called. Yeah, spider's web. He has a spider's web there, and he stands up the wrong card. Like, he was supposed to just stand up the other one, but again, that was just a simple mistake. It wouldn't have changed much, guys. I'm just telling you. I'm just being honest. It wouldn't have changed almost anything at all. So 9 into 8. Nope, you're not getting that. First of all, I'm just going to save it for free with my leader effect. Make sure you know what the leader does. He leaves 4 Dawn active. I don't know what he's supposed to do here, guys. Watch this. Attach 2 there. Okay, swing 6 with this character. Swing 6 with my leader. And then it's going to be swing 7, swing 8, swing 9. This guy's, he's toast right here, guys. He's in deep, deep trouble right here. Okay, start using those events, man. You got 2 Dawn active. Okay, there's an off-white to do a search and do a +4. We're coming in for 8 more. He takes it. Well, that's not a good sign. We're coming in for 9. He had way too many of those. I don't think you should run 4 Eustace Kids, guys. I've said this before. Run like 2 or 3 Eustace Kids, depending on the deck you're running. 4 of that card is just not the same as 4 Doflamingos. And Doflamingo costs 2 more than that card. It doesn't matter. The impact Doffy has versus what Eustace Kid has. Like, let me say it like this. Doflamingo, the 10 cost, you want to chain together, go 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 4 in a row. Eustace Kid, you want to drop 1 of over the course of the entire game, and then you really, really hope that you don't draw into another one unless they somehow can remove the one you have down. So, either way, good game to this guy. My board got too crazy for him to deal with at the end. I liked the idea of what he was doing with Sugar, but you have to run maybe he just didn't see his stage, I don't know, but he needed the stage to lock down my board so that he could have a chance going into the later stages of the game. But here's the other thing I will say about that idea in general. It's probably not going to work against Red Black Sabo, because even if they're on 10 Dawn, I attach 1 Dawn to my leader every turn, and now you're not KOing any of my characters. So, you know, or any of my 5,000 power or less characters. Or 5,000 power or more characters. Okay, now let's go ahead and go over to what we got. One more game, a game versus Zooro. Here we go, guys. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x. Got a game versus Zooro. This guy. Sometimes you run into newer players on the sim. It happens, guys. It's not a big deal. Yeah, this isn't meant to be pro games. I mean, hey, I'm not running a top tier meta deck, so it is what it is. It kind of balances itself out sometimes, guys. Like the meta decks, he's going to swing it for 5. I'm going to 1K counter out. The meta decks are so strong. Some of them almost play themselves, not to the fullest level, not to the highest level, but they have such a higher floor than other decks. So it's like, okay, if I'm playing a deck that's not as strong as the meta decks, but I'm playing against an opponent that's not quite as strong as the best players, I feel like it's pretty fair. I feel like it really evens things out. Okay, so last turn I played out a Lindbergh. I set that up on my 4 Dawn, or 5 Dawn turn. And now, guys, it's going to be... No, it was a 4 Dawn turn, excuse me. It was a 4 Dawn turn. So we swing for 6. We're going to pop the Dr. Correja coming in for 7. We're going to play out a Morley. And here we go, guys. We're entering the stage of the game where we're getting very comfortable, right? We have a character on the board that's 5,000 power, so it's easy to counter out and save. Okay, huge play mistake right there. Why did they swing for 5? I literally just pretended like they swung for 6. So I went ahead and gave them that benefit of the doubt because of the leader. Guys, I would have punished them otherwise if it was a real game, but I went ahead and let them have that, you know, because that's what they should have done. They should have gone 5 into it, you know, in that, 6 into it. You guys see what I'm trying to say? Pause. So they buffed the Makino, they played the Makino to buff the 1-cost Nami to 5,000, and then they didn't attach a Dawn to their leader to swing for 6 into my 5K Lindbergh. In a normal tournament, I probably would have punished them with a 2K counter, and then I would have just let them attack in from there. But who knows? Maybe they meant to do that. Maybe they meant to do that so I could use my use a counter from hand, because the what's his name? The Chopper can lower my power down. So then I couldn't save him at all. So maybe that was actually pretty well planned by my opponent. Who knows? Okie dokie, 5 into 0, that card's gone. 5 into 2, that card's gone. We're going to go Dragon, 7 into 4, and then 9 into 4. We're going to demolish this board, guys. That board is not surviving. That was an absolute... Guys, Dragon is so strong. That card, Dragon, has always been strong, but more people are starting to play it now. I think more people are starting to realize it. That is an 8-cost 11K if it needs to be, right? If it needs to be, that's an 8-cost 11K. Okay, so 7 into 5, I can use my leader effect here pretty confidently. Yeah, go ahead, attack into that again if you want to. It's up to you. He did just play out the Chopper, the 3-cost Chopper, so he can't use that, right? He can't attack with it, I'm saying. Okay, so here we go. Again, I think I'm kind of fine with just eating up this board. Actually, let me say this. Because I don't have a blocker, I'm not as comfortable just letting the board go or trying to battle for the board. I might just go for face. All right, so here we go, guys. We might be all in right here. So we're going to go 7, 7, 7, 9. Okay, actually, we're going to do 6 to poke first to see if we can get as much value out of this as possible. We'll go 7. So we'll go 6 into 4, 7 into 4, 8 into 4, 9 into 4. He either has it or he doesn't. If he would have counted out of one of those earlier attacks, then I would have eaten up his board. So he got to 8K, almost, not quite. But yeah, that was a rough one there. What I needed was a blocker, and then I would have I would have just eaten this board up and attacked his life very, like, passively, you know what I mean? Because, look, he had a Monkey D. Dragon in hand. If I don't win right there, the game's just over. The game, I mean, if I don't have a blocker, I'm saying. Like, if I had tried to attack into the board here, and it's like, okay, he only has 3 attacks, I have a 2K counter in hand and 2 life, I should be able to get out of one of these attacks. Honestly, I only have 1 2K counter. I probably couldn't have gotten out of the smallest attack if he tried that, especially if it was going to be Dragon. Because Dragon, with this, like, say I took out the 2 little characters on the board, the Bear and the Robson, or whatever his name is. Robson, I can't remember his name. Whatever his name is. If those are gone and he only has these 3 characters left on the board, I'm not surviving, because he could just go, okay, play down Dragon, attach 2 Dawn to the Kureha, and he still has 2 Dawn left for the turn. So then he can attach 1 Dawn to his leader, and then he could go, what would it be? It would be 6, 7. It would be 6, 6, 7, 9, I think is what it would be. And I can't survive that. I can only get out of 1, 6, and then I get 1, 1K for my life, and it's over. I have no blocker. So that's something, every now and then, guys, you have to take the opportunity as soon as it presents itself, guys, because if you can't, sometimes you just have to play to your best opportunity to win. Sometimes it's not even considered the most, like, optimal play. It's just, okay, this was my only chance. Okay, good game, guys. That was a fun one. Let's go ahead and check out the deck list here real quick. Let me move my face. This is the list I was running today, guys. Here's the leader. Pause and read it if you don't know what it does. Very powerful, very subtle effect there that can actually just... It makes your opponent very uncomfortable. It makes your opponent very, very uncomfortable. But for the let me just go through the cards now. I'm running 4 Yamato. This is a 5-cost card with 5,000 power, and it's a 2K counter. So it's actually a really, really nice card for this deck, because okay, it's 5 costs, so it can't get bounced by like Trafalgar Law, right? And then it also allows you to attach a Dawn for free to your leader on the board, and it's a 2K counter. So it actually has so many good like upsides to it. It's just a great counter for the deck. I'm running 2 Otamas, a little bit of power reduction, always helps. We are running 4 Koalas as well. This is power reduction, but it can be searched with Bella Betty or the 5-cost Ivankov. Running 2 of the Emporio Ivankov, the 4-cost. Guys, it's still a good card, but it is just not ever going to be as good as it is in Bello Betty. Because on Bello Betty with no Dawn, if you just have a 4-cost Ivankov on the board, then you could just trash a card with your leader effect and buff him to 8,000 or and cheat out a card from your hand for free. You know, I mean, it's not for free, but you guys see what I'm trying to say. No other leader has that effect. Even Red Yellow Sabo struggles with that. You know, pushing a card to life and giving him plus 2,000. Red Yellow Sabo can do that, but it's still it's not always the best play. Let me say that it can be the best play, but it's not always the best play. Meanwhile, Red Black Sabo has no way to buff, right? There is no buffing on this card involved like there is on Red Yellow, Bello Betty, and Sabo. So, in other words, I'm only running 2 of these, and to be honest, guys, I'm even considering cutting this down to 0 and going up other cards. Like, I'd rather actually go up like 1 Dragon and 1 5-cost Sabo. Notice we didn't see the 5-cost Sabo, guys. This is a Dressrosa Revo card, so I could search this up. So, yeah. Next up, Karasu, 4 of, obviously just common sense right here with this card. It's like this deck's only chance versus Nami, I'd say, but it's also so good at just turning on the gas and just going for lethal. Koala, 2k counter, you know, very self-explanatory. Bello Betty Searcher. Morley is just a great turn 3, or not, I can't talk, guys. This is like the perfect 3 Dawn play. Turn 2, going first, drop this down. It doesn't matter that it doesn't get through blockers. It's just a beater. And it is searchable by Revo Army, and then you can cheat it out with either of the Ivankovs. So it's just so good. It's just so good. Same idea with Lindbergh. It's not even like this card's just crazy, but it does have a lot of upside. We do have 4, 7, plus 2. We have 9 ways to reduce power in this deck, and I guess technically 4 Karasus as well. But yes, you can pop bigger targets with this card, but honestly, this card's just good. Number 1, it's a trigger, and it's searchable, and it's a 1k counter, but just attacking for 7 and popping like a little blocker on the board, it is so nice, guys. It just gets the little chaff out of the way, the little crappy cards out of the way. It gets the attacks out of the way you don't want to do. Like, I don't want to attack a 5k body into a 0 power searcher, but I will if I have to, right? Or a 1000 power searcher or something. Okay, Emporio Ivankov, this is like the star of the show in every deck as far as I'm concerned. Maybe this Emporio Ivankov is in Bello Betty, but guys, this card is just chef's kiss. It's absolute money. This is the king of any Revo list currently. And it's red, so it can be played in any of the current major Revo lists. Other than, you know, it can't be played in blue Ivankov, unfortunately. Like, the red Ivankov can't go in the blue one. Hopefully in the future they make a red-blue Revo Army leader. That would be so nice, guys. That would be so awesome. But yeah, until then, we have a don't y'all think that'd be cool, guys? Y'all have to tell me in the comment section below. A red-blue like Kuma leader or something like that with Revo Army benefits locked in. That would just be so fun to play, I bet. But, you know, I say it'll be fun to play, but I have to see what the leader effect is first and any support it gets. Dragon needs no explanation. This card is so strong. Edward Newgate has a lot of potential. I only got it down the 1 turn or the 1 game against the green-purple Doffy. I think the card is very strong, and we can combo with Koala, Otama, or Fire Fist. One thing I will say, too, is maybe I was thinking about this, and I might have the ratios backwards for Yamato and Otama. I might need to go 2 Yamatos and 4 Otamas. That's one thing I would probably change right away. But this card is still very strong. It has 5,000 power to help out with the leader effect here. Because, guys, this leader effect can save any character that's 5,000 power or more. It doesn't have to be Revo Army. So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay, what else? So Newgate was pretty good, I think, in testing. I think the card's got potential. The effect just goes so well with our leader, right? You know, play this card out as a 7 cost 8k, attach it onto our leader, and now we tap him down and pop a 5 or less, and now they can't even KO him. You know, they have to attack into him like twice or KO him 2 effects or something like that. Borsalino is just incredible in any kind of deck that's running Gecko Moria. We are running 4 Gecko Morias, but if you notice, guys, I didn't play it in a single game that we had. The deck may be too aggressive to even run Gecko. Like, I might go down to 2 or 3 of these and just go up more low-end cards, so I have more tempo early on. We'll have to see. Sabo, of course, this is just a solid staple, and it's searchable by Dressrosa with Bello Betty, or not Dressrosa, Revo Army. Borsalino, like I said, is just an all-star. Gecko has quite a few targets it can get back here that are pretty decent, guys. It can snag like a Borsalino and the Bello Betty to do a top 5 search, or you can get Borsalino and Koala to drop down the power of a character. If you have 2 on left after playing out the Gecko, attach 2 here, smash in, pop the character you drop there. There's a lot of potential here. A lot of potential. And then last but not least, of course, we got Fire Fist. This is a card that I think is just so... this card is so good at getting you out of trouble, where it's like, okay, I've got a Lindbergh down, but they've got like some massive character I need to deal with. I mean, you might just drop down a massive character into the 4,000 or 5,000 power range just so you can beat into it with the rest of your board with like your Lindberghs or with your Karasus or Morleys or whatever. You don't even have to KO with this card to get rid of, you know, to benefit you. But really strong card here. Really strong card here. Well, that's it, guys. That's pretty much all I got for you today. Hope y'all enjoyed. Again, this is the last video for 2024 on this channel. And what a year. What a year it's been, guys. Here's to 2025, guys. Hopefully we keep it going. We'll keep it going in 2025, see how things go. Okay, so real quick, shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys. Thank you so much. Just like all the stuff we mentioned today, everybody who views me, everyone who watches, subscribes, likes, comments, whatever. I completely messed that up, but you guys get the point, guys. If you're if you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, there it is. There's the 5. If you're doing any of that stuff, you're helping me out big time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Big shout out to everybody who bought the VV Pirates playmat. Hope you guys are enjoying that. And last but not least, of course, the patrons. Thank you guys so much for donating to the cause. Just trying to help me out, guys. Trying to keep things afloat. Trying to keep the dream alive. All right, guys. Till next time. See y'all in 2025. Stay out of trouble. Please be careful. Till next time. Peace.